The property is in better condition than I took it on. This is a phrase we hear regularly from tenants who are in disbelief that their landlord is asking them to pay them money at lease end for a property that looks to be in better condition than it was at lease commencement. I'm Tim Clarke, a director at Harrison Clarke Chartered Surveyors. In this video, I will explain why, unfortunately, even if you give a property back in better condition than you took it on, your landlord may still have a valid claim against you. Leases are typically very complex documents, and the majority are filled with legal jargon. If you don't fully understand the wording of your lease, there is a danger that you will be taking on unexpected liabilities. We always recommend that you seek proper legal advice before signing a lease, even if you trust your landlord. A couple of grand spent on proper legal advice before lease commencement will pay dividends both across the course of the lease and at lease end, often saving tenants many multiples of the fee paid as a result of taking on reduced liabilities. At lease end, the landlord will consider whether you have kept the property in the condition referred to in the lease. If your lease requires you to have kept the property in good and substantial repair, you have to be aware that this is a high standard. This standard will be measured against the condition of the particular element when it was built or made, and not the standard it was at lease commencement. There are ways of changing the lease so that it refers to the condition of the property at lease commencement. Look up our videos on a photographic schedule of condition or contact us directly. Unfortunately, unless you have modified the repairing obligation at lease commencement, it doesn't really matter if the property is in better condition now. If the lease says that you have to keep the property in good and substantial repair, you will be obliged to put it into good repair if it isn't at lease commencement. It sounds harsh, but this is a basic tenet of dilapidations law and is one of the worst kept secrets in the commercial property world. Even if you have managed to limit your repairing liabilities through the use of a photographic schedule of condition, for example, your lease might still require you to redecorate the property before handing it back to your landlord. This clause is designed to help the landlord reduce void periods. If you are limiting your repairing liability, you should also seek to limit your liability to redecorate such that you don't have to improve your landlord's property if you don't want to. On many properties, particularly industrial, retail and commercial lettings agents will advise their landlord clients that a property will let most easily if it is open plan. Although you might have erected some walls to form handy offices or a staff room, there's no guarantee that a future occupier will want to keep your layout. For this reason, landlords are able to claim for the cost of removal of any alterations you might make during the lease term. Most leases contain provision to ensure that you run the property in accordance with the law. This sounds pretty obvious, but it will still be in the lease. As such, if the landlord identifies work which is required by statute and which you should have completed, they might have a valid claim against you. Claim items under this heading are usually minimal, but can still be included in a dilapidations claim. We understand how frustrating and worrying it can be to receive a dilapidations claim, especially when you thought you had taken good care of the property. With our in-depth knowledge and understanding of dilapidations, we will be able to advise on strategies to minimise the cost of your dilapidations claim. Harrison Clarke has a team of specialist dilapidation surveyors who can provide expert assistance in negotiating dilapidations claims of any size, from less than £20,000 to over £2 million. They can be reached on 023 81 550051 and look forward to working with you.